Lindley under center to Hillman off the right guard, fought his way to the 10, and then broke out. If the whistle didn't blow, he's gone. He's in midfield, being chased 40, 30, 25, hit from behind, broke that tackle. He's gone. Touchdown Aztecs. I see no penalty flags. I hear no whistle. He just kept running and running and running and went 95 yards for a touchdown.
Hi again, everybody. Mike Costa with you here on GoAztecs.com. Welcome to another edition of Aztecs Now Online. We are joined by head football coach Brady Hoke. Coach, I got up early Sunday morning just to make sure this was correct, and I was right. The sun did come up this Sunday morning.
Yep.
When you have a game like you did against Missouri, obviously heartbreaking. Football's not a perfect science, though. I mean, you're going to have these later on down the road, too. It happens in this game. That said, based on the way the game turned out, you've had a chance now to go back and look at this game on tape. What are some of the things you saw?
Well, I thought, as a team, I thought our guys really played hard. They played their hearts out. They did a great job in preparation for the week. And, the one thing, Mike, we keep everything pretty consistent, and how we prepare every week. The message about the opportunities that we should have taken advantage of during that football game and learn from that and move forward and get ready for a really talented Utah State team.
I know how the team felt after the game, obviously. Checking in with them yesterday, what's their psyche like?
Well, we always say it's going to win or lose. We're going to take Sunday and either enjoy it or hurt a little bit. But once we get done Sunday evening, we've turned over to Utah State, and they're all looking at film today, getting a good sense for their next opponent.
On the touchdown play that it was eventually the game winner for Missouri, it looked like in the course of that play, there was blocking in the back on defensive back Jose Perez. Did you see it that way?
Well, I don't think there's any doubt. I think, that was part of the game, and it was a big play in the game, obviously. And, we had some other opportunities, but, there any doubt that Jose got blocked in the back, and for one reason or another, the official didn't see it. But there's other times in the game where we had opportunities to take more control of the game, and we didn't do that. So, you look at it and say, this is what happened, now let's go forward.
As you mentioned, that game is now water under the bridge. You're focusing on Utah State. Is it safe to say, though, Coach, that your team grew up a little bit Saturday in Columbia based on what happened?
I think every game's a learning process. Whether you're undefeated or whether you're had a tough loss, you've got to learn from it. When we look at the film as coaches and we look at it as players, we really look at it critically and see what we could all do as coaches and players to help us win a football game and how we can improve. So, that's all part of playing the game. It's all part of competing, and I'm proud of this team, and I'm proud how they've gotten ready every week.
The Ronnie Hillman show continues to impress. He'll be the first one to tell you he can't do it without the guys up in front of him. He's part of a team. But talk about his performance so far this early in the season.
Well, he's had two big games back to back. And, I think one thing is I think our offensive line has done a nice job, and I think they keep improving. And we've got some more improvement to make. We're never going to play perfect. But Ronnie, when he gets in the open field, I think that's a little bit of the difference, is his speed and his top-end speed and his ability to make big plays. And on those big plays, you can see DeMarco and Vince doing a good job of harassing those guys down the field, and that's a big plus.
Saturday night out at Qualcomm Stadium, it's Utah State in town. It's the Sky Show, which is always a huge crowd for the Aztecs. What can fans expect to see from the Aggies? How do you combat that? Well,
they're a very athletic team, and offensively, their quarterback is a tremendous football player. He really is probably the straw that stirs the drink when you look at it. He's a multiply talented guy, with the run and the pass. And they play hard. They're well coached. And defensively, they're very aggressive in what they do. And they've got a bunch of good guys who run to the football.
Coach, finally, something that happened with the Nicholls State game, the rebirth of some of the great traditions with Aztec football. Again, the fans will be able to experience the Warrior Walk and the Honor Warrior, two very important things as far as fans are concerned with bringing back the Aztecs of old and giving the fans a chance to get up close and personal with the Aztecs, the present Aztecs, as they're making their way into the stadium.
Well, there's no doubt after the Nicholls State game, our guys in the locker room and after the game talking to them, how much they appreciate those folks being out there 2 hours before the football game and having fun and tailgating, but coming to the Warrior Walk and supporting these kids. Our student athletes in all sports here do a great job, and our guys are no different, and they really appreciate that. So we're going to embrace all those legacies and those traditions.
Coach, as always, appreciate your time and good luck on Saturday.
Thanks, Mike.
Coming up, we'll talk to senior center Trask Iosefa about the improvements on the offensive line as Aztecs Now Online continues after this.
He breaks a tackle. He's gone. Touchdown, Aztecs.
I'm in.
I'm in. We're in!
I'm in this thing.
Welcome back to Aztecs Now Online. We are now joined by center Trask Iosefa. Trask, obviously a devastating loss against Missouri on Saturday night. As far as the way you and your teammates are feeling, what's the mindset right now coming off a game like that?
I mean, I think we're real disappointed about what happened, but I think we're ready to go back to work and take on the Aggies this weekend.
Looking back on that game, I'm sure it's not only one last play, but there's maybe some points in that game where you look back and say, well, we could have done this better, could have done this better. Looking back and seeing the game film, do you see just that, those areas where you could point and say something changes there, maybe we come out of there with the win?
Yeah, definitely. I think on the offensive side of the ball, we just got to execute better than the week before. So.
The running game obviously has been a bright spot for a lot of Aztec fans. It's something that obviously you guys worked on in the offseason. You're having success with it. What has led to that success? A total team commitment to it, a better offensive line, a better group of running backs? What do you think?
I think it's just a whole team commitment with Ronnie Hillman, Brandon Sullivan, and Walter Casey and them back there. I think they're doing a great job of running the ball, and the guys up front with me, we're just working on opening up those holes.
You mentioned a guy like Ronnie Hillman. I mean, just a freshman. What's it like having a guy like that running the ball?
Oh, it's nice, just being able to hit the hole and see what he can do with it. It's good to see that.
You ever catch yourself maybe taking a little peek as he breaks through the line, watching him do his thing?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
As long as you've executed your block, everything's fine.
Yeah.
Now, on the 95-yard touchdown run that he had in that game to go along with his 75-yard touchdown run earlier in the game, it seems you might have given him a little help, maybe a little boost to get through that hole and get off on his merry way.
Yeah, I just saw him, being stood up in the pile, so I figured, just grab him just a little bit, but make sure I took my hands off because then it was illegal.
Is it something that you thought about, or did you just react?
I just reacted. I was just a heads-up play.
You've got Utah State. You're back home this week. It's the Sky Show. It's going to be a pretty big crowd. A lot of people coming out for Aztec football. Any fear of maybe a hangover based on the Missouri game?
No, I think we're just going to go out there and attack the Aggies. So.
What do you have to do to beat Utah State?
Just be consistent like how we have been for the last 3 games and, just keep pushing forward.
And do you think fans have to realize that even though it's one game against Missouri, it's one loss, this is still an Aztecs football team that is light years ahead of where you guys were last year?
Yeah, definitely. I think we're just, we're a lot more mature than we were last year.
Trask, as always, appreciate your time. Good luck Saturday.
Thank you.
Coming up, women's volleyball begins conference play this week. We'll hear from sophomore Andrea Hanisch as Aztecs Now Online continues after this.
Billy White, watch out.
All I do is win, no matter what.
Malcolm Thomas rejects.
Thomas back to Leonard for the hammer. Everybody hands go up. And they stay there. And they say yeah. And they say there. 'Cause all I do is win.
Oh my, DJ Gay!
Put your hands in the air and make them stay there.
Welcome back to Aztecs Now Online. The women's volleyball team began the season 5-1. They begin conference play this week at home against New Mexico on Thursday night at 7 o'clock. And then again Saturday they play against TCU at noon. We recently caught up with sophomore Andrea Hanisch, who told us how the team got off to such a great start and how they plan to continue that into conference play.
But I think it was just a lot of confidence and a lot of, we didn't know what to expect going in, and so we just played. And, we just went in blazing guns, and it was a lot of fun. And I think that we definitely clicked. It was a fun tournament, and I definitely say it would come from confidence. We've had games that have really boosted our confidence. We've clicked and we've played so well. And we've had games that have showed us things can change, and we need to learn to adapt. And so the games where we've really had to change what we're doing and realize, take a step back and say, like, we have to change certain ways of going about this. Those have really been learning experiences. So the ones that we've lost that have been really close, it's all learning, and we're getting so much better each match. Big opponents are TCU and probably Colorado State. They were top of the conference last year, but honestly, our conference is very strong, and so there's a lot of really strong opponents, but we're right up with every single one of them. So I'm really excited going into this week, and I think that they really need to watch out because we're coming in hot.
Well, that will just about do it for this week's edition of Aztecs Now Online. We leave you with a list of events of all that is going on up here on the Mesa this week. For everybody here at Aztecs Now Online, I'm Mike Costa. Thanks for watching right here on GoAztecs.com.